What's up, everybody? It's Jesse Addy. How's it going?
Happy Monday.
Yeah, that was a Monday moment for me, man. Live from the Upper West Side with Kelly Ford. Hello, Kelly.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, sun's out. I love the
What's
fall
the
weather.
truth
Like if
been-
the weather was like this on July 5th to the end of the year, I'm good.
Right. It's the last official day of summer. It does not feel like it. Tomorrow, fall begins.
I know. And I got the sweatshirts on. Here's the thing with the bald head. When it gets below 60 and guys with this haircut, it's hat time. Like I was over at your place. We did a little supper thing. I'm all winter hatted up from here till like March.
Yeah, so. I got the picture to prove it.
It was a great time.
It was a good Sunday football summer, a supper to have, just get together. Because, you have that moment where I'm like, oh, I stressed out. I asked people over. And then I'm like, screw it. These are like my good friends. I'm not getting out of my sweats. I'm not showering. This is like having family over for dinner.
I showered. You didn't shower? Okay.
I did I did a little spray. Psh, psh, psh,
did your thing.
Triangle. Mm-hmm.
Chris, what's up, dude?
Ah.
Hey, Chris is in here. Make sure you jump in, say hi. We are live as well on Facebook, YouTube, and our new time now, noon, every Monday through Friday. The lunch bunch, if you will.
I like that.
So we're just going to hang out and give you updates on, if you've never seen us before, on what's going on in country music, what's going on with the radio station, and
city, the tri-state,
everything. Yeah. Like
we're
pack
family,
it all into 15, 20 minutes. So this
I
is
didn't
the
shower
big thing.
today either. Yeah. So I thought, hey, it's family. We're just hanging out.
Yeah. So back to school, but not for the classroom for a lot of New York City students, and all the biggest school district in America. The little kids, preschool, are going to school right now, and then high schoolers October 1st, which is going to happen next week.
Well, you don't have kids. My kids are mostly grown, and I have lots of mom friends here in the city, the ones that are left. So many people left. But in particular, our mutual friend, Amy Freeze, who's super frustrated with it. She's like, Will, her kid, just started back to baseball yesterday. I went and saw his game in Central Park. Mm-hmm. And he's so excited. He's like an enthusiastic kid who wants to play with his friends. And she's been really frustrated with she's like, every other school, I know this is a unique school district, a very large school district. Right. She's like, every other city in America has figured out a variation of the new normal. And as a mom, it's just frustrating for her not to, this kid who wants to be engaged and wants to learn. Anyway, super serious, but true. Like it's a dilemma for so many parents out there.
Yeah. And I think that hopefully, and those dates are all tentative at this point, that's not, it's October 1st for middle school and high school students, but that can get pushed back as well.
And I just saw that low contact sports like field hockey and swimming and soccer, mm-hmm. and tennis, cross country, that they're cranking back up in New York, September 21st. So
yeah,
there you go.
I was thinking about if we had a little kid, I think I would wake up, get him ready. I'd walk him down the street to the school, and then we would just walk back for some sort of we're going to school.
Yeah.
Then we're coming home just to, say some hi to some people in the morning.
That's
Speaking
crazy.
of saying hi, Lisa is here. Lisa Rousseau.
Yes.
What's up? Hello to Donna.
These are our people. It's family.
All
hi,
our
Sarah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah. Oh, Sarah, we go way back. Used to be part of. We used to work together. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did?
Always living. Yeah. You used to work with her too.
I did.
Yeah. New York Yankees clinch postseason berth. So they're in the playoffs. That means if they lose every single game from here to the end of the season, they're still in the playoffs. So that's good news. And last night, of course, I'm sure you talked about this a lot. This morning, the Emmys. You can check out the 8 moments you missed at New York's Country 94.7.com. Possibly.
Dude, it was weird, but somehow now the weird is like, oh, okay. I guess all things considered, that worked.
Yeah. And I wonder how much the producers of that show were paying attention to the ACMs on Wednesday, mm-hmm. because that was sort of the first semi-live. We're trying to put this together and not have it be awkward. And there weren't really a lot of, somber moments, and not everyone was on some weird Zoom in their bedroom. So
yeah, I did like the trash can Jennifer Aniston moment. Yeah, it was creative. Listen, I will say this as just the teeny bit of production and thought that we put in to everything we do. Mm-hmm. I bet you that show took 10 times as much work to figure out and produce.
Yeah. And just hitting your marks. And
yeah.
And this scene right here was Jennifer Aniston a bit with Jimmy Kimmel. Like Jennifer Aniston, they were so good. She was so good. I was like, oh, they've done this a lot. Like there was rehearsals going on.
Sure. Although the fire, I think there was probably a producer off screen going, no, this could go really bad. Just it.
It makes me think that in the process of it, because the material on that award maybe was more flammable, that they didn't use that in rehearsal, so it got a little out of control. But as I said, you can check out all of these moments here on the website.
I would also like to say, as broadcasters on terrestrial radio, which is radio that's free and broadcast all over, you know, is defined and ruled by the Federal Communications Commission, that it's always challenging to figure out how to say the name of the show that won all the comedy awards last night.
I'm not even going to. Well, we're on Facebook. I guess we could say it.
I guess you can, but there's still like that good girl, like I follow rules. I don't want to get fined $10,000 for saying it.
It was a big night for Schitt's Creek.
Jesse! Oh my God! Oh.
There.
My God! Who are you?
I know.
Who are you? Ew, David. I love that show too. Totally binge worthy. Hi, John. John Martin. The beard.
John's in here. Yeah, sweet beard. Tammy's in here. Says hi. Camille says go Yanks. As we mentioned, the Yankees just are getting in the playoffs for sure. ACMs are fabulous. The Emmys not so much, according to Camille.
Oh yeah. Well, it was because you can bring the energy up with music. It was harder to bring it. Like I was all in on the fake crowd. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, look,
no problem with that.
Yeah.
We had football on, both my place, your place, we were over there, and just having that noise and that crowd in the background is just very comforting.
Yeah, man.
So I like that a lot. Harry is here. Says, hey. Kelly Jesse. Let's see. Robert Neville, big friend of the. Everybody here's a friend of the radio station.
All our peeps.
Lynn says not an Emma's fan. I think Emmys. Love the ACMs.
It was just weird. Everything's weird right now. It's hard.
Let's move on to something that is not weird for Kelly Ford. Her love of The Rock. This story, you can get all the details at NewYork'sCountry947.com. But as you can see, Dwayne The Rock Johnson rips off front gate with his bare hands. The story is that The Rock basically had 45 minutes to get inside this gate to work. And they called his people, and it was a hydraulic problem, so it was going to take like an hour, 2 hours. It's always longer. This is the gate he ripped off, tore the hydraulic system, threw it on the grass, went inside.
Yes.
And went to work.
What you want, Dwayne? I got to get in there. There might be people I need to save.
It's a very Hulk move, so for The Rock, but we love him so much. Let's see. Camille says ACM set the bar high.
That's true. True that.
Which I would agree with. Let's talk about Kelly Ford. This is something pretty huge for you over the weekend, in case you missed it. Good thing it's going to be happening every week. It's 90s Country with Kelly Ford I put 9 a.m. I don't know why. That's
8 a.m.
8 a.m. coast to coast.
Coast, baby.
How exciting is this?
You know what? It was so fun because I may or may not have played these songs the first time around, but I'm not going to tell you because then you'd be like, oh, that's why I don't tell my kids ages. People they do the math, even being from Kentucky. But yeah, it was super fun to hear all these songs again. And for people who, hey, dip your toe in, the water's warm. We'll take people who haven't listened to country forever. That's the point. There are more people at the table, the better. But if you have kind of just recently got on board and learned the genre, this is like a different era. This was an era where, so much swagger. And this is like when people think of big old belt buckles and starched Wranglers and, Garth with his like super starched, colorful shirt on. And by the way, I definitely will do a show on this at some point. Women got so much more airplay. Women were so much more prominent in the picture with Reba and Trisha and Shania and Terry Clark and Dina Carter. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it was really, there were some songs that I was like, oh yeah, damn, unbelievable. Diamond Rio, she's so kissable, lovable. You know that?
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because it's such like it's a big conversation. But when you rattled off all the things about 90s country, it was kind of showy and about fashion and I don't want to say glitz and glamour. But do you think that was part of it, that there were so many more females on the radio that they could just, show up in that world of fashion and bring the whole thing? And now,
it wasn't pretty fashion in my
Well, it's loud. It was loud in a
Loud.
way.
It was super loud.
If that makes sense.
And I feel like it was people didn't try so hard to be cool. They were just cool, you know? And the
Right.
songwriting was different. It wasn't so much about love. I feel like everybody's so much of it is about love. Back then, like you could Dirks pointed out, I had Dirks Bentley on as my first guest, and he was like, Watermelon Crawl. Who would think of a song called Watermelon Crawl now?
Or, well, isn't there what's that Harry Styles song?
Oh yeah, watermelon sugar.
Watermelon sugar. Yeah.
Watermelon. I can just sing. That's it. What I can do. But yeah, it's interesting too. The artists who've sustained, like we do a back in the day triple play, and the songs that were big in a certain year. So we did 1998. So This Kiss, Faith Hill, Bye Bye, Joe D. Messina, and Tim McGraw's Just to See You Smile. Well, look at me, I'm just a fact person now.
Look at this.
That was the longest chart run of any song in the 90s.
Which song?
Just to See You Smile. Is that shocking?
It really is. Yeah, it's such a great show. You did such a great job with it. You had Dirks Bentley. I can't wait because I know you're going to have a lot of artists that we hear all the time on New York's Country 94.7 on this show as well. So they're 90s playlists.
Super fun. Listen, every Sunday morning, 8 a.m.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Harry's in here. He says, they said he broke out of his house. His gate loved the Sunday morning show. Kelly.
Yay.
There you go. Kathy Mattea.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So again, if you're new to country, it's good to kind of know the history. What I find a lot of people who don't know country is, Jesse, you'll get this because we get this a lot here. People go, I like old school country. And then they say Johnny Cash. I'm like, everybody, of course, Johnny Cash is amazing. Everybody knows Johnny Cash. That just means you haven't taken the time to learn it because it's an easy default. I'm not judging. That sounded a little judgy, but
it's a little bit, but that's all right.
Yeah,
that's why we're here for, to judge just a little bit.
A little bit.
Let's move now. This is very incredibly important. This is going to happen on the radio station you see on your screen as we a big initiative and something we support a lot. Our I'm Listening. If you've probably seen it on the website, this series always important. And to be a part of the show, a very special broadcast on New York's Country 94.7 from Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. And more details, obviously, on our website and be a part of the show. And it's just important. Obviously, this time that we've gone through in the last, 5-6 months, I mean, we've heard all the stats about obviously, people just needing more mental care, self-care, and what we've gone through, and it's unprecedented. So this is something that we've been doing for a while, even before the pandemic. But we're certainly happy to be a part of this too.
And I love that it takes some of the stigma off these normal mental health things that, obviously people want to be upbeat. They want to be, we have to believe the best. That's so important. But, it's also real to say this has been a roller coaster. I think there are people who don't want to talk about it. You'd be surprised at how helpful it is to say to somebody, yeah, one day I'm like, everything's going to be great. And the next day I'm like in a corner rocking back and forth. Like, I think that's just real. And as a mom, and Jesse knows all my kids, they're great young adults, but I will say this, and I don't think I've ever shared this, but with every single one of them, there have been moments where we're like, I don't know, like where we were genuinely worried that they would, that they wouldn't make it, that they would do something to themselves, that they would hurt themselves. And that's just those moments in time where you see that someone can't see beyond the moment right in front of them. So I just think it's really important to talk about it. Obviously it's not party talk. It's not happy talk, but I think especially as you mentioned right now, these are trying, and so many people out of work and so many people, looking for a different purpose. If work was their purpose, I don't know. I think this may be the most important year to talk about this stuff because people need to feel heard and seen and know that they're not alone.
Yeah. Well, and thank you for sharing that about your family too. And I think not to oversimplify it, but there are just those little things that can help so much. We've spent so much more time inside. We've spent so much time, not doing the things. You and I were talking yesterday and with Jess Clark that we work with about motor skills, like my ability to climb upstairs. The first time I did stairs for the first time in 2 months on a subway. It's like, so those things that we haven't done in a while. So something just as simple as taking a walk, and not that it's going to fix all your problems, but all of those your chemicals in your body are different when you've got such lack of activity.
100%.
So I understand a walk is not going to fix, clinical depression and things like that. But for a lot of people, I think that just your daily routine in your previous life sort of helped your mood and helped the chemical balance and all those endorphins and those oxytocin from getting to see people. And so those are, have hit an all-time low for some people in a lot of ways. So doing just some of those things and can help you a lot. And obviously if there's more going on, then you need to seek professional help, but it's always important to talk to somebody too.
And you got to find that person that you can talk to that won't judge you, that you feel like she's crazy, that really will go, Kelly, like, now I'm making this super personal, but Kelly, pull it together. No, that, there are times in our jobs where, like, I realized 3 days last week I hadn't even been outside. And I was like, I think actually you said, go take a walk, go to Central Park. And there is something about it. And I also, just as like friend advice, think we get so caught up in logistics, like thinking what's going to happen next, whatever. I mean, why don't you just honor that again, super simplistic, but, honor that you did accomplish this today, that you did do this today, instead of like, am I going to have a job in 6 months? How am I going to just stop and take the moment to be, it's not going to solve. You may not have a job in 6 months, or you may, but it's at that moment, a walk will help you.
Yeah. It can change a lot of things. So again, that's going to be at Wednesday, at 6 o'clock. I will turn it over to our amazing team that's put this show together, and also locally, not just a part of it will air across the country, but also a special New York portion as well. So
and a lot of country artists taking part with their perspective on mental health. And it's really, really important. So we appreciate you guys listening.
We appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for people that been jumping in to say hello as well. And we turn you over, obviously, Katie Neal on the radio and the Superstar Power Hour every weekday at 2 o'clock.
I love
huge. And today it's Darius Rucker all week long hanging out with Kelly. I love this, like,
Katie.
This look from Darius. This is he's looking up in the rafters of the balcony. He's like, yeah, what's that? No, I'll play Hootie songs. Don't worry, we'll get to that. I'll get to the Hootie songs look.
Listen, he's the guy, when you interview that guy, he can do anything. He could host Entertainment Tonight. He can do, that guy can do anything. Anything he wants to do. Mm-hmm.
So check out Katie Neal with Darius Rucker, Superstar Power Hour starting at 2 o'clock.
The Superstar Power Hour. I feel like I want to go preach.
Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Maybe we'll just we'll start eating. The Lunch Bunch is born. It's our first lunch show. So
I like it.
Is that screen? I'll watch this back later. Is that backwards on your screen? The logo on the screen? It is backwards.
Is this I couldn't figure out. It looks different than Zoom's. But you're not going to mention the smashed potatoes. What's wrong with you? Before we go,
that wasn't my story to tell.
Time.
All right. We'll get to it next week. We'll do lunch. We'll bring on Jess. We'll have her make the smashed potatoes. How about that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, fam.
Bye.